So on that note, I'm going to be able to introduce a most amazing young woman. She is our next speaker, keynote speaker, and she is no stranger to the success of teamwork. She was the all-time leading scorer on the basketball team at Lamphere High School, and she went on to lead steals and remain a top 10 scorer for Northern Illinois University, and then played professionally in Poland before joining the coaching staff at University of Missouri, Kansas City Division I women's basketball program. And if that was not enough for this, all of this 5'5" of professionals, she now uses the game of basketball as a tool to inspire lives as a president of the Max Out Foundation, reminding kids and adults alike that success is not measured by where you are, but it's measured in how far you have come and who you help along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Marky Freeman.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, thank you.
Thank you.
How much do I owe you for that? I feel like I gotta start cutting checks here pretty soon. Well, hello everybody, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Before we get started, I have to start off just by saying thank you to CMLS for having me, specifically to Danae. I know she's running around making sure everything is running well, but also I'm just happy to be here and share with you guys. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys have had your coffee yet, but I am very excited to be here and share with you guys, and I'm just high on life. And if you're high on life and you're as excited as I am, I want you to look to the person on each side of you, and I want you to say, I'm so freaking excited, and finish it with 2 above the shoulder high fives. Go for it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, something I tell my athletes at the Max Out Foundation, something I tell my athletes at Washington University, which is where I currently coach in St. Louis, I tell my athletes how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you halfway slap somebody's hand and you say, yeah, I'm so freaking excited, that is not believable. I don't believe that you'll get up early in the morning or stay after when it's needed to do that work to be great at anything that you want to achieve. So I'm going to challenge you guys again. I want you guys to get those endorphins going. You know the endorphins, you got to activate those opiate receptors. Maybe too much. All right, so you got to get those endorphins going. So I want you to really express your excitement and get above the shoulder high fives. Don't hurt anybody, but get some above the shoulder high fives. Here we go. Here we go. I'm so freaking excited. I'm so freaking excited. I'm so freaking excited. There we go. I'm so freaking pumped. I don't know what to do. You got to put some extra emphasis on the F and the R. All right, so I'm excited about a number of things here. I'm excited about a number of things. I'm excited to be able to share with you. I'm excited about just opportunities to impact. In a moment, I'll share a bit with you about my foundation, the Max Out Foundation. But I'm excited about what you guys are doing in our communities right now. Just really doing everything that you can to better the marketplace and just better our community. So right now, I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm really drawn to anyone or any organization, any being that prides themselves on making our society, our community better. And that's one thing the Max Out Foundation has allowed me to do. The Max Out Foundation has allowed me to take my passion for people, my passion for impact, my passion for leadership, and my passion for sports and combine it and really influence our youth of today and our leaders of tomorrow. The Max Out Foundation, The focus of the Max Out Foundation is to use sport as a tool to influence positive life choices. I have the pleasure of working with a number of inner city youth, and a couple of the things that we do is we just provide extracurricular activities for our youth, especially in the summer, productive activities to keep their minds, to motivate them and keep their minds active and keep them encouraged. We focus on educating, equipping, empowering, and encouraging our youth. I've had awesome opportunities to travel over to South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa, and go into the townships and serve with a number of amazing people. I've also had opportunities to go right here in this area of the country and serve. We've served in New York in the concrete jungle, using again the game of basketball as a tool to really educate our youth, implementing the STEM program, implementing our summer enrichment program for families that need assistance. And I've just taken this sport, we've taken this sport to another level, and our goal is to continue to travel around the world and really just better our community. In doing this, our goal is to maximize opportunity, unity, and training. And one thing that we focus on is our team dunk, a team dunk. Most of us in here already know that a team is an organized group of individuals that come together with a common goal. A dunk is that perfect execution of a strategy. Our goal at Max Out is to maximize opportunities, unity, and training. My question for you is, what is your team dunk here at CMLS? What is the team dunk? What is the goal? What is the mission? Now, I asked this question at a Fortune 500 company in the later part of this past year. And the sad thing is when I asked this question, I asked them to raise their hand, and only less than one third of the group actually knew the mission of the organization. That's not good, right? What that told me is that only 1/3 of the organization is moving in the same direction. Everybody else is doing their own thing, and that's going to make it very challenging to accomplish that goal. So what is the mission here? Well, if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. All right? The mission is to bring real estate industry together and explore issues, provide solutions, advance multiple listing services, and build a better marketplace. That's powerful. And in doing so, knowing that mission, that should be in the forefront of all of our doing. Anything that you want to accomplish, any task, anytime you meet with your teams, that should be in the very forefront. A wise man once told me, vision indicates every decision. My vision is the reason I wake up in the morning. My vision is the reason I'm so excited. My vision is the reason when things get tough, I can give more. The only thing worse than having no sight is having sight with no vision. So in order to attain a goal, you need to make sure that the entire team is moving in the same direction. And this is something that we focus on at the Max Out Foundation. Let's talk about the dunk. How do we accomplish the dunk, that mission? Many of you guys are asking yourselves, who is this individual in the all black? Well, that's me. The next question you're asking yourselves, is it really her? Yes, that's me. The next question you're asking yourselves is it photoshopped? No, it's not photoshopped. That is a regulation size goal, all right? That is me. More importantly, the questions that we should be asking is, how do we reach this dunk? How do we reach that goal? How does it happen? There's two questions we should be asking ourselves, and two questions that we ask ourselves consistently at the Max Out Foundation. Those questions are, what leads to the dunk? What leads to that dunk for CMLS? The next question is, how do you assist the dunk? What is it that you do specifically to contribute to the execution of the dunk? In the game of basketball, many things play a role. One thing we tell all of our players is that each player has a specific role, and each role is just as valuable as the other. From the player calling the play, to the player setting the set, to the player setting the screen, to the player making the pass, the timing, the togetherness. All of that is very important to achieve that goal, to achieve that win, to achieve that dunk, to win that championship. And these are questions that we need to ask ourselves consistently. Another thing you need to note is that you get the dunk. The goal is to complete the play, regardless of what it takes. So again, we saw the picture, and here's the dunk. It doesn't matter how you get there. Just get there. Just get there. So with those two questions in mind, we're going to move on to our 5 keys to building and sustaining a successful team. The first is meaningful connection. Positive touches. Positive touches. Connecting with others. This is a great way to build togetherness. This is a great way to build the camaraderie that's needed to be successful. Now, I've been on a number of teams. I've played on a number of teams through high school, through college. Professionally, I've played on a number of teams. I've coached a number of teams, both successful and unsuccessful. And this is one of the most important things ever. Coaching at Washington University, we made it to the national tournament, the NCAA tournament this past year. We made it to the second round. And one reason we did it, it wasn't necessarily because we were so skilled, but it was because we were together. My buddy Will appreciate this. Touches are very important. So there were 2 scientists at the University of California, Berkeley, and they did a study in the NBA in 2010 and 2011. And there was an individual team, there was a specific team that won an award. I'm counting on you, Will. You have to know this. They won an award in 2010 and 2011. Yes, they won the NBA championship. But an award they won was being the most touchiest team in the NBA. Sounds weird, right? The most touchiest teams. So these 2 scientists actually calculated the number of touches they got every single game. High fives, shoulder bumps, ridiculously long handshakes, right? Chest bumps, high knee slaps, all right? All of these touches were calculated. And over the past decade, they've learned, based on their work, they've learned that the teams that are the most touchiest are always in a position to win a championship. They've taken this study to the NCAA as well. And the proof is the same. It's the exact same. Now, what does that look like in the workplace? No, I'm not saying go and win the most touchiest employee award, all right? That's the quickest ticket out, okay? Quickest ticket out, HR will get involved right away, all of your stuff will be in a box, okay? Now, what does that look like in the workplace? Maybe it is a shoulder bump. Maybe it is a fist bump. Maybe it is a high five. But it's also those opportunities to walk into somebody's office and just say, hey, I'm with you. Hey, I got your back. Hey, how's everything going? Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's win today. Let's win this region. Let's win right now. Let's win this quarter. That's what that looks like. I will never forget my senior year. We were playing at the University of Buffalo in New York. And late in the game, the team was going back and forth. It was an amazing game. And it got down to the wire, and I had been playing well, so my coach calls a timeout, pulls me over to the sideline, draws up a play for me. I never will forget the play. It was a stagger into a flare screen. We anticipated the switch. It was going to get me an open shot. I know that means absolutely nothing to a majority of you, but those who follow basketball will appreciate it. I get the basketball, and as I catch, I notice my defender is slightly off balance. She's extended the arm. I come underneath the arm as I go into my shot. I release. There was obvious contact. Did I make it? Somebody said yes. Thank you for believing in me, but I didn't. Okay? I didn't make it. But there was a referee on the right side of me that made the right call. So everybody's excited, right? The buzzer sounds. There's no ticks left on the clock. Everybody's excited, right? We're all excited. except for me. Because I'm like, now I know I don't only have to knock down one shot, I got to knock down 3, okay? And so I go over to the sideline, and the weight of the world is on my shoulders. This game is being televised. It was a pink game for breast cancer awareness. I had just lost my grandmother. I had friends and family battling this disease. And it was an emotional game for me. And I get over to the sideline, and I just want to be great. I don't want to ruin this. The weight of the world on my shoulders, I don't want to screw anything up. And as I walk from the sideline, after the timeout, my teammate, Ebony Ellis, she walks up to me. Ebony is about 6'3.5". So I look up to Ebony as the sweat drips from her forehead to her chin to my forehead. And she says, while placing her hand on my shoulder, "You got this. There's nobody better to be at the free throw line right now. You're prepared." And that took the weight of the world off of my shoulders. That touch was a transfer of energy, was a transfer of power, encouragement, which is needed in every team setting. Touch. KYP. These connections allow you to know your personnel. Something that I constantly tell my athletes at Max Out is it is your job as a leader to put our teammates in positions to be successful. Put them in a position that they're comfortable with. Now, as leaders, there are times where we need to stretch those that we have the opportunity to serve. But we also need to know when it's appropriate to do so. So you have to know your personnel, and that's a great way to build connection, to get to know who they are, how they're wired, what motivates them, what they're good at, what they're not good at, what's going on in their lives, and other ways that you can continue to serve them. The next is deposits. 6-to-1 ratio. Many of the athletes I serve are high school or college level, so many of them are very familiar with how to go up to an ATM and withdraw, all right? But they don't know too much about deposits. And one thing that I have the opportunity to talk to them about is how to deposit, how to serve others. Many times, especially in a leadership position, we want to go and demand and pull. I need this, I need this, I need this on time. I need this. Can I get this from you? I need you to knock this out for me. It's a 6-to-1 ratio. Just like we walk up to that ATM, we can't demand if we haven't deposited. And there's a number of ways to deposit. At PGC, I have an opportunity to talk to athletes about going APE for our teammates, APE. The A is acknowledge, the P is praise, and the E is encourage. You acknowledge what they do well. You praise them when they do those amazing things. And you encourage it consistently. And those are great opportunities to make those deposits. So when it's time to demand more, I need more from you. You can do better than that. They know it's coming from a place of love and grace. You've already made that investment. They understand that you're in it for their good. So constantly making those connections. And to make those connections, that takes selfless service. Giving, 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 giving. What the average person does in a team setting is they're constantly looking for what they can take. What can I get out of this? How can I get the role that I want, that promotion? When am I going to get the recognition? I want to win this individual award. I want to win that individual award. In a team setting, one's goal is to make a commitment to the team. What special leaders, what special people do, they're looking for ways that they can serve. How can I help you? How can I make this better? What can I do for you? And it's also understanding I don't need anything in return. This is just who I am. This is how important you are. This is the value that you bring. Not only to those you lead, but also to the customers and those you have an opportunity to serve. Understanding that we is far greater than me and keeping that in the forefront as well. The third is accountability. Look at the person next to you and say, uh-oh. Accountability. Accountability. First and foremost, self-accountability. Uh-oh. Self-accountability. Star in your role, whatever your role is. I talk to our players about this consistently at Washington University in St. Louis. We meet with our players consistently throughout each semester, and we just talk about their role. This is what we need. So they have a clear idea of expectation and how to serve their team. Each role is just as important, but you have to start in it. And many people don't accept their role, and that causes a challenge on a team. That causes a challenge. There's a disconnection. To star in your role, you have to find value in your role. You have to appreciate your role. You have to love the team so much, because the truth is, I have a roster right now at Washington University that holds 18 players. We're competing for a national championship. Will everybody have the opportunity to play? Not every game. Not every game. And something that I have to talk to our players about is fair doesn't always mean equal. Star in your role, be the best that you can be, and we're not competing against each other. Your goal is to be better than you were just the day before. And if every player on a team does that, success will soon follow. Success will soon follow, because CP equals A plus AP. A little arithmetic. Championship performance equals anticipation plus advanced preparation. Many are looking for that promotion. Many are looking for that starting position. You have to show me that you can be great at this. Be great at what you're doing right now. Be present. Be right where your feet are. And that's what's going to make this team better. That's what's going to make this organization better. Eliminate the ABCs. Eliminate accusing, blaming, and complaining. Uh-oh. Look at the person next to you and say, ouch. Eliminate it. It stunts the growth of a team. It stunts the growth of an organization. Again, causes disconnect. It causes tension, which is not safe in any team environment. Choose to seek blame choose not to seek blame. Choose self-accountability. Right now, we're going to watch a little video that I'm sure all of us can relate to.
How many of you are blamers? How many of you, when something goes wrong, the first thing you want to know is whose fault it is? Hi, my name is Brene. I'm a blamer. Let me just tell you this quick story. So this is a couple years ago when I first realized the magnitude to which I blame. I'm in my house. I have on white slacks and a pink sweater set, and I'm drinking a cup of coffee in my kitchen. It's a full cup of coffee. I drop it on the tile floor. It goes into a million pieces, splashes up all over me. And a millisecond after it hit the floor, right out of my mouth is this: damn you, Steve. Who is my husband? Because let me tell you how fast this works for me. So Steve plays water polo with a group of friends. And the night before, he went to go play water polo. And I said, hey, make sure you come back at 10, because I can never fall asleep until you're home. And he got back like at 10:30. And so I went to bed a little bit later than I thought. Ergo, my second cup of coffee that I probably would not be having had he come home when we discussed. Therefore, and so the rest of that story is I'm cleaning up the kitchen. Steve calls, caller ID. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey, what's going on, babe? What's going on? So I'll tell you exactly what's going on. I'm cleaning up the coffee that spilled all, like dial tone. Because he knows. How many of you go to that place when something bad happens, the first thing you want to know is whose fault is it? I'd rather it be my fault than no one's fault. Because why? Why? Because it gives us some semblance of control. But here, if you enjoy blaming, this is where you should stick your fingers in your ear and do the na-na-na-na thing, because I'm getting ready to ruin it for you. Because here's what we know from the research. Blame is simply the discharging of discomfort and pain. it has an inverse relationship with accountability. Accountability, by definition, is a vulnerable process. It means me calling you and saying, hey, my feelings were really hurt about this, and talking. It's not blaming. Blaming is simply a way that we discharge anger. People who blame a lot seldom have the tenacity and grit to actually hold people accountable, because we expend all of our energy raging for 15 seconds and figuring out whose fault something is. And blaming is very corrosive in relationships, and it's one of the reasons we miss our opportunities for empathy. Because when something happens and we're hearing a story, we're not really listening. We're in the place where I was, making the connections as quickly as we can about whose fault something was.
So let me get a quick tap of the pens if you guys can relate to that anyway. Go ahead and tap your pens on your table if you can relate to that in any way. Like a lot of us, right? A lot of us. Damn you, Steve. I have been there. All right? I have been there. But it's also understanding that blame is the inverse of accountability. In a game time situation, as a coach, who is always, as a coach, a player, or a parent, who is always the easiest person to blame after a game? And I think we would all agree on this. It's the referees, right? They're always wrong. They are always wrong. They're always wrong, and they're the easiest person to blame. But this is something that I tell my athletes, because I experienced this as a player as well. I would get in the car after a game, and my mother, I love my mother, amazing woman. I'd get in the car after a game, and the first thing she'd say, because she'd want to save my feelings, right? She would say, you know what, those refs, they were just horrible, baby. And I'd get in the car and I'd say, you know what, you're right, Mom. You could walk in the locker room after a game, you could say, you know what, it's not even our fault. Those refs were horrible. They had it for us, they had it out for us before we even got off the bus. And as a player, I don't have to think about the ridiculous amount of turnovers I had. As a coach, I don't have to think about the adjustments or the lack of adjustments that were made throughout the game. And as a parent, how many of you guys know those overbearing helicopter parents that are their behavior is so poor at a game? All right? Raise your hand if you know one. If you're not raising your hand, it's probably you. All right? So easy to blame somebody else. And when we seek to blame, we miss out on opportunities to grow. We miss out on opportunities to self-reflect and correct and say, this is where I could have been better. And when we blame, we miss opportunities to find solutions, more importantly. Accountability is huge to building and sustaining a winning team. The next, in order to be accountable, you have to be unruffleable. At PGC, founder Dick DeVinzio and basketball guru, he said this: the definition of unruffleability is the ability to handle difficult tasks and people that come your way in and out of the workplace with poise and control. Poise and control. Unruffleability. Let's take it here. Two beautiful creatures, obviously. Unruffleability is choosing to be a lion over a sparrow. A sparrow is an individual that is a victim, prey on the food chain, correct? These individuals are always bothered by petty problems. They're a victim of their environment. They're constantly seeking to blame because they don't have the strength, the mental strength, to hold themselves accountable for their actions. A lion is just the opposite. A lion is very poised. They're the owner of their environment. They're a predator. They're unbothered by challenging tasks. We never turn on the National Geographic Channel and see a lion running away from anything, right? No. But the moment we open a door, we see a sparrow running away. That's being unruffleable. Unruffleability is being opportunistic, seeking opportunities to show off their greatness, seeking opportunities to do things that others wouldn't do, to do things that others find challenging, to do things that others hide from. And that's where we get to greatness. Greatness is thriving on non-ideal circumstances. The best organizations, the best teams, the best people in the world, when we talk about GOATs, when we talk about greatness, they're individuals that overcame. They're individuals, when things got bad, they showed off their greatness. They didn't run away from it. They were unbothered. They didn't blame. Yes, you have to hold others accountable, but first they self-reflect and correct. They challenge. They accept challenge. That's greatness. That's greatness as an individual. That's greatness in any team. And these teams that are full of lions are the teams that go on and do amazing things. And when I think of greatness, when I think of lions, the first team that comes to mind is University of Notre Dame women's basketball. Any Notre Dame grads in here? South Bend? Awesome, 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 awesome. I had an opportunity to play Division I basketball at Northern Illinois University. I played for an awesome coach by the name of Carol Owens. Northern Illinois, there we go. I played for an awesome coach by the name of Carol Owens, all right, who is now the associate head coach at Notre Dame. Notre Dame, for those who are not familiar with their story, they weren't the underdogs. They came into the polls early on in the season, and they were actually a favorite, one of the top teams in the country. But adversity is inevitable, all right? Most times unseen. And they experienced 4 season-ending ACL tears. One, they're All-American, Breonna Turner. The second was their senior, Michael. The third was their center, freshman. The fourth was their only point guard on the team, Lily Thompson, a mentee of mine. 4 season-ending ACL tears. They had more ACL tears than they had losses. The odds were against them. I had an opportunity, I ran into my coach out recruiting late spring in Chicago. And I sat down with my coach and I said, Coach, man, you just got to tell me how. Because this is unbelievable. Like, at some point, you had to tell the girls, okay, I know our goal was to win a national championship, but things happen, all right? Let's just go out there and play hard. I know at some point you had to tell them, hey, it's okay if we lose. And this is the human in me. What did you tell them, Coach? Her response was this: no. I actually said the exact opposite. Our goal never changed. What I told them was, we have to do more. Each of us, as individuals, you have to do more. Your role may change just a bit, but you have to do a little bit more. It's still attainable. We can still accomplish this, but we have to do a little bit more. That's being unruffleable. That's being a lion. That's not seeking to blame the circumstances. That's seeking to control the controllables and show off greatness. A challenge for each of us as individuals and as a team. The 5th and final point is influential leadership. Any Boston Celtics or Larry Bird fans? There we go. There we go. Influential leadership. Interesting story about Larry Bird. Larry Bird, the Bird, an amazing player. He was playing against the Phoenix Suns, Charles Barkley, and he had just dove in the stands for a loose basketball. So he dives in the stands, head first, throws the ball back in. One of his teammates gets fouled. He goes to the free throw line. His hands are on his knees. He's dripping sweat. He's fatigued. Charles Barkley, Chuck, the guy that gets bullied by Shaquille O'Neal on TNT all the time during the halftime shows, he's standing over him, looking down at him. And he says, man, Larry, you keep playing like that, you ain't gonna last long in this league. Larry, drenched in fatigue and tired, he looks up to Chuck and he says, Chuck, get a ring. No, I'm kidding. He says, Chuck, if I didn't play like this, I wouldn't be here. Powerful. That statement is the reason he achieved many of the things that he achieved. I look at this quote. He had a teammate by the name of Kevin McHale, another legend, all right? And Kevin said this. He said, because Larry, our star player, the best player on our team, because he hustled all the time in practice, he worked the hardest, he was the first one there, he was the last one to leave, because he was the first one on the floor for a loose basketball, it took away everyone else's excuses not to. Our players understand that the best thing that you can do for those you lead is model the behavior needed. Showing up daily, coming in early and staying late. That's power and leadership. And it takes a good leader can lead a group of people, but a great leader can create other leaders. So just taking a look at this here, again, genuine connections, selfless service, accountability, unruffleability, influential leadership. Each of these things are key, are essential in sustaining and building a winning team, in reaching that goal or that common vision that we all share. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. I also want to say, if you guys want to learn more about Max Out or bring it to a community near you, please check us out at maxoutfoundation.com. If you're looking for a way to support, you can find us there as well. Last but not least, I want to tell you all, thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to following your greatness. Thank you.